Brave warriors, sharpen your sight and ready your ears. In the dead of night, heed the thunderous roar of Sharik Mahmud Khan. Every eve, save Sunday, I will lead you into that valley where shadows hiss like enemies at the gates, where walls groan with hidden lament, and each footstep courts a tempest of dread. Steel yourselves, for tonight's tale shall be our fiercest battle cry.
Title: Lion of the Land, the warrior who defeated tyranny with justice. Introduction: a hero beyond time. When the clouds of cruelty darken the earth, when justice becomes a forgotten dream, and when the flames of humanity begin to die, that's when someone rises, not just with a sword, but with a purpose. This is the story of such a warrior, a man who fought not for power, but for truth, a soul who didn't conquer lands, he conquered hearts. This is the legend of Zafar Khan, the Lion of the Land. The making of a warrior. In the snow-capped valleys of Kashmir, in a quiet tribal village, Zafar Khan was born. His tribe was peaceful, but lived under constant threat from ruthless empires. Zafar's childhood was unlike most. His father, a retired soldier, gave him his first lesson early. True strength lies in protecting the weak. Before holding a sword, Zafar held a book, but injustice burned in his chest from a young age. When he turned 18, his village was raided by a brutal king named Feroz the Executioner. Fire, screams, blood, the village was turned to ashes. That night, Zafar made a vow: either I will die or I will destroy this tyranny. This was not the end. It was the beginning of a storm. If you feel inspired by this story, don't forget to like this video. Part 2. The first spark of rebellion. Zafar escaped to the mountains and began gathering young men from neighboring villages. They were not trained warriors, but they all shared one fire: a hatred for oppression and a hunger for freedom. Zafar didn't just teach them how to fight, he taught them how to live with honor. He laid down 3 rules: help the helpless, never harm women or children, respect your enemy, but destroy injustice. Soon, this group became known as the Lions of Justice. They didn't just spread through cities, they captured hearts. Feroz the Executioner, once invincible, now felt the tremor of fear. One night, Zafar led a surprise attack on a military outpost. With just 20 men, he defeated hundreds, but not a single life was taken. That was his true power: humanity. If you stand for justice, leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Part 3. The Battlefield of Bravery. Feroz, now furious, summoned thousands of troops. He declared, "Bring me Zafar Khan, dead or alive." But Zafar was fearless. He told his followers, "We fight not for victory, but for justice." The battlefield of bravery was ready. Zafar wore a white robe draped in the flag of truth and carried the same sword his father once gave him. Against the cannons and steel of the empire, he stood alone, with nothing but faith. The war began. Arrows, swords, smoke, and screams. Yet Zafar's presence ignited hope in every heart. He roared, "Tonight is the last night of tyranny." Eventually, the enemy fled. Zafar emerged victorious, not with pride, but with prayer. He gave water to prisoners, healed the wounded in prostration in the same field he conquered. If this story touched your soul, don't forget to share it with your friends. Spread the light. The Crown of Forgiveness. After the battle, Feroz the Executioner was captured. Everyone expected Zafar to execute him, but Zafar simply looked into his eyes and said, "I forgive you, so that my people may learn justice, not revenge." The world was stunned. That day, Zafar didn't just win a war, he won humanity. He transformed Feroz's kingdom into a democratic society. He built schools, clinics, and justice centers. The Lions of Justice had now become a new nation. People began to say, Zafar Khan didn't change history, he saved humanity. To hear more inspiring stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Part 5. A torch that never died. Years passed, but the name Zafar Khan became a living legacy. He never took a crown, never built a palace. He lived among the people and lived for them. One day, a young boy asked him, "You conquered so much but took nothing for yourself. Why?" Zafar smiled. "If I had taken the throne, what would make me different? I chose to be a torch, to light others before I fade." From that day forward, the people celebrated Justice Day every year. Children, elders, warriors all remembered the man who fought with love and led with forgiveness. And his greatest legacy? Justice, mercy, courage. If you want this light to live on in your heart, don't forget to hit the bell icon and be the first to hear the next story.
And so, brave warriors, our battle of tales comes to an end. The black shadows marched off in silent defeat. The walls sealed their mournful cries at last, and the roaring tempest of fear that met our every step has fallen into a whisper. Thus ends tonight's War of Stories. Rise now, draw your blades, and stand ready, for every night summons us to a new front.